The arrival. In the year 2045, Earth was thriving, its cities bustling with life and technology. But all that changed in an instant when a fleet of alien ships descended from the sky. These invaders, known as the Zarkonians, arrived with one purpose: to conquer and enslave humanity. Their ships were massive, casting shadows over cities as they unleashed waves of destruction. As chaos erupted, Commander Ilara stood on the rooftop of a crumbling building in New York City, watching flames consume her once-beloved home. She was a seasoned military leader, known for her strategic mind and fierce loyalty to her people. With her dark hair whipping in the wind, she clenched her fists, feeling both rage and despair. "Commander, we need to regroup," shouted Jake, a young soldier who had fought alongside her for years. His face was smeared with dirt and sweat, but his eyes burned with determination. Ilara nodded, turning away from the devastation below. "We can't let them take our planet without a fight. Gather whoever you can. We need to form a resistance." Meanwhile, Dr. Mendez, a brilliant scientist working on advanced weaponry before the invasion, was holed up in his lab underground. He had been monitoring the alien technology and was horrified by what he saw. "Their shields are impenetrable," he muttered to himself as he analyzed data on his screen. But deep down, he knew that humanity had one advantage: their creativity. As night fell, Ilara gathered survivors in an abandoned subway station. The atmosphere was tense. Fear hung thick in the air like smoke. "Listen up," she shouted over the murmurs. "The Zarkonians think we're weak because we're scattered. But together, we can fight back. We need to harness our strengths, our intelligence, and our spirit." The crowd looked at her with a mix of hope and skepticism. "How can we stand against them?" asked an older man with weary eyes. "We adapt," Ilara replied firmly. "We learn from our mistakes and use everything at our disposal." With that rallying cry, they began to devise plans for resistance, strategies that would exploit any weaknesses they could find in their alien oppressors. The resistance forms. Days turned into weeks as humanity struggled to survive under Zarkonian rule. Ilara's resistance group began to grow as more survivors joined them. Engineers, doctors, teachers, all willing to fight for their freedom. Dr. Mendez worked tirelessly alongside engineers to develop new weapons capable of penetrating Zarkonian shields. Using remnants of fallen alien technology scavenged from battlefields, they crafted makeshift devices that could disrupt enemy communications. One evening, as they gathered around a flickering light in their underground hideout, Mendez unveiled his latest invention: a pulse generator designed to disable enemy ships temporarily. "This could give us just enough time to strike," he explained excitedly. Jake looked skeptical but intrigued. "What if it doesn't work?" "We have no choice but to try," Ilara replied decisively. "We can't let fear dictate our actions." The first test came sooner than expected when scouts reported Zarkonian patrols near their hideout. Ilara organized a team to intercept them using Mendez's generator. As they ambushed the patrol under the cover of darkness, adrenaline surged through their veins. The pulse generator hummed ominously before unleashing a wave of energy that lit up the night sky like fireworks. The Zarkonian ships faltered mid-flight. Their lights flickered before going dark one by one. "Now," Ilara shouted as they opened fire on the disoriented aliens below. The battle was fierce but brief. Humanity's ingenuity had given them an edge for the first time since the invasion began. Afterward, as they surveyed their victory amidst the wreckage of alien technology, Jake turned to Ilara with newfound respect. "We might just have a chance after all." Ilara smiled faintly but remained cautious. This was just one battle in a much larger war. The turning point. With each small victory against the Zarkonians, hope began to flourish among humanity's ranks. News of their success spread like wildfire through underground channels, inspiring more people to join their cause. Dr. Mendez continued his research tirelessly. He discovered that Zarkonian ships had vulnerabilities linked to their energy sources, If disrupted at just the right moment during combat operations, it could render entire fleets powerless. Ilara decided it was time for a bold move, a coordinated assault on one of their main supply lines deep within enemy territory. "We'll hit them where it hurts," she declared during one strategy meeting filled with eager faces ready for action. As they prepared for this critical mission, tensions simmered within their ranks. Some members questioned whether they were ready for such an ambitious operation, while others were eager for revenge against their oppressors. A fierce battle ensued. Soldiers fought valiantly against overwhelming odds while facing advanced alien weaponry that threatened to wipe them out entirely. In those moments of desperation when all seemed lost, Ilara rallied her troops with unwavering resolve, reminding them why they fought. For freedom, for family, for humanity itself. As dawn broke over scorched earth littered with debris from both sides, the resistance emerged battered yet victorious. Their spirits ignited by newfound determination, fueled by collective strength against adversity. The betrayal. With their recent victory still fresh in everyone's minds, morale soared among Ilara's resistance fighters. They had proven themselves capable of striking back against their oppressors and were gaining momentum in their fight for survival. However, shadows lurked even within this newfound hope. A traitor had infiltrated their ranks unnoticed by all but Ilara herself, who sensed something amiss during recent operations despite outward appearances suggesting unity among comrades. Her instincts were confirmed when whispers reached her ears about plans being leaked to Zarkonian forces leading directly towards ambushes set up specifically targeting vulnerable members of their group. Desperate for answers, she called an emergency meeting where she confronted everyone present, demanding transparency about any suspicious activities occurring within camp walls. "We cannot afford division amongst ourselves," she implored passionately as eyes darted nervously around room, filled with anxious faces unsure how best respond under pressure. Just then, a loud explosion echoed outside, sending shockwaves throughout building, causing panic among those gathered inside. "Stay calm," Jake yelled, trying to maintain order amidst chaos erupting around them, only adding fuel fire, igniting fears already brewing beneath surface tensions, threatening to tear apart fragile alliance, forged through blood, sweat, tears endured together thus far. When dust settled, they found themselves surrounded by Zarkonian soldiers who had taken advantage confusion, created earlier ambush, catching everyone off guard, leading into desperate fight escape alive, while uncovering identity traitor responsible betrayal, ultimately leading downfall entire operation, planned meticulously beforehand. In midst fray, Ilara spotted familiar face among enemies, a former ally turned traitor revealing true colors right before eyes, betraying trust placed upon him previously, leaving nothing but heartbreak, shattered dreams behind them all. The final showdown. The calm before the storm. The air was thick with anticipation as the resistance prepared for the final assault against the alien mothership. After months of relentless struggle, humanity had learned to adapt, innovate, and fight back. Commander Ilara Vasquez stood at the forefront of this effort, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. This was it, the moment they had all been fighting for. Ilara surveyed the makeshift command center, filled with maps and holographic displays that projected the layout of the alien ship. The flickering lights cast shadows across the faces of her team, each one a testament to the sacrifices made along the way. Dr. Amir Khan, her trusted ally, was analyzing data on their latest reconnaissance mission. "Commander," Amir said, his voice steady despite the gravity of their situation, "we've pinpointed a weakness in their shield systems. If we can get close enough to exploit it, we might stand a chance." Ilara nodded, her mind racing with strategies. "We'll need to split our forces, a distraction on one flank while we hit them hard on the other." Allies from unexpected places. As they finalized their plans, unexpected allies began to arrive. Survivors from various parts of Earth who had banded together under Ilara's leadership. Each group brought unique skills and resources, from engineers who could repair damaged equipment to former military personnel ready to fight. Among them was a group of scientists led by Dr. Leela Torres, who had been working on a prototype weapon capable of penetrating alien armor. "We've modified our energy blasters," she explained excitedly. "With this new power source, they should be able to bypass their shields." Ilara felt a surge of hope at Lila's words. "Let's integrate those into our strategy. Every little bit helps." The battle begins. The night before the assault was tense. Soldiers and civilians alike shared stories around small fires, bonding over their shared purpose. Ilara walked among them, offering words of encouragement and listening to their fears. She understood that this battle was not just for survival, it was for humanity's very identity. As dawn broke, they gathered in silence, readying themselves for what lay ahead. The air crackled with energy as they boarded their ships, makeshift vessels cobbled together from salvaged technology and alien remnants. "Remember," Ilara addressed her team before they launched into space, "we're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for everyone who has fallen and everyone who will come after us." With that rallying cry echoing in their hearts, they took off toward the alien mothership looming ominously in orbit, engaging the enemy. As they approached the massive ship, its size became even more intimidating. The hull glimmered menacingly against the backdrop of space, a fortress built for war. But Ilara steeled herself. They had come too far to turn back now. "Prepare for engagement," she commanded as they entered firing range. The first shots rang out as their ships unleashed a barrage of energy blasts against the mothership's defenses. The aliens retaliated with precision strikes that illuminated the void of space like fireworks. Each explosion a reminder of what was at stake. "Focus fire on that shield generator," Amir shouted from his station. Ilara guided her ship closer to the enemy vessel, dodging incoming fire with practiced ease. It was chaotic. Ships danced around each other in a deadly ballet as both sides fought tooth and nail. A desperate gambit. Just when it seemed like they were gaining ground, an alarm blared across their communications channel. An overwhelming force of alien fighters surged forth from the mothership, intent on crushing any resistance. "Fall back. Regroup," Ilara commanded as she maneuvered her ship through enemy fire. But amidst the chaos, she spotted an opening, a narrow gap in the enemy's formation that led directly to the shield generator. It was risky but could be their only chance. "Amir, can you get us through?" she yelled over the din. "I can try," he replied, fingers flying over controls as he plotted a course. With adrenaline coursing through her veins, Ilara made her decision. "We're going in." The heart of darkness. As they barreled toward the generator, enemy fire rained down around them. Ilara gripped the controls tightly, her heart racing as they entered the narrow passageway leading to their target. "Hold on," she shouted as she executed a series of sharp maneuvers to avoid incoming blasts. They burst into an open chamber filled with pulsating energy, alien technology thrumming ominously around them. The shield generator loomed ahead like a sleeping giant. "Now, fire everything we've got," Amir shouted. The combined might of their modified weapons erupted in a blinding flash as beams of energy struck true against the generator. For a moment, it seemed like nothing would happen, but then it exploded in a shower of sparks and debris. A moment of triumph. Cheers erupted over their communications channel as Ilara felt a rush of exhilaration wash over her. They had done it. The shields were down. "Let's finish this," she commanded as they regrouped with other ships now emboldened by their success. With renewed vigor, they launched another wave of attacks against the mothership's hull, hitting critical points and causing structural damage that sent shockwaves throughout its vast expanse. But just as victory seemed within reach, an ominous silence fell across the battlefield, a silence that sent chills down Ilara's spine. The alien leader emerges. From within the depths of the mothership emerged an enormous ship unlike anything they had seen before. A command vessel adorned with grotesque symbols and pulsating lights that seemed to draw energy from its surroundings. "This is it," Amir said gravely. That must be where their leader is. Ilara felt a mix of dread and determination surge within her. This was not just about defeating an enemy. It was about reclaiming humanity's future. "Let's go," she shouted as they charged toward the command vessel, ready to face whatever horrors awaited them within its darkened halls. The final confrontation. As they boarded the command vessel, darkness enveloped them, a stark contrast to the chaos outside. Shadows danced along walls lined with alien technology that pulsed ominously in rhythm with Ilara's racing heart. They moved cautiously through dimly lit corridors filled with unsettling sounds, whispers echoing like ghostly warnings through empty spaces. Each step brought them closer to an inevitable confrontation with an enemy that had sought to extinguish humanity's light. Suddenly, they reached a massive chamber where an imposing figure awaited them. The alien leader clad in dark armor that radiated power and malice. Its eyes glowed with an unnatural light as it regarded them with disdain. "You dare challenge me?" it boomed, voice reverberating through the chamber like thunder. Ilara stepped forward defiantly. "We are humanity. We will not be your prey." An epic battle. With those words igniting a fire within her team, chaos erupted once more as both sides clashed in an epic battle fueled by desperation and hope. Energy blasts lit up the chamber as soldiers fought valiantly against overwhelming odds. Each moment fraught with peril, but also filled with determination. Ilara fought alongside Emir and their allies. Every blow struck against alien forces felt like reclaiming lost ground, not just for themselves, but for all those who had suffered under oppression. A sacrifice made. But just when victory seemed close at hand, tragedy struck. A powerful blast knocked Emir off his feet as he shielded Ilara from harm. She screamed his name as he fell back into darkness, lost among shadows swirling around them. "No," she cried out in anguish, but knew she couldn't falter now. Not when so much was at stake. Fueled by grief and rage alike, Ilara channeled every ounce of strength into one final push against their foe, the culmination of all humanity's struggles embodied in this moment. A new dawn. With one last surge forward fueled by sheer willpower and sacrifice made by countless souls before them, they struck down their adversary in a brilliant explosion that illuminated even the darkest corners of despair. As silence fell once more over what remained, the weight of loss hung heavily upon Ilara's heart. But amid sorrow lay hope reborn anew. Humanity had fought back against insurmountable odds. In that moment, though victory came at great cost, they stood united once more, resilient warriors ready to forge ahead into uncharted territories, filled with possibilities yet unseen. The story continues. Humanity's resilience. The aftermath of battle. The battlefield was silent, a stark contrast to the chaos that had just unfolded. Ilara Vasquez stood among the remnants of the alien command vessel, her heart heavy with loss yet buoyed by the flickering flame of hope. The air was thick with the acrid scent of burnt metal and scorched earth, a testament to the fierce struggle that had taken place. As she surveyed the scene, memories flooded her mind. Of comrades lost, sacrifices made, and the sheer will of humanity to rise against an overwhelming foe. They had faced annihilation and emerged not just as survivors, but as warriors. The alien leader lay defeated, its once mighty presence reduced to a lifeless shell. Ilara turned to her team, who were gathering around her, faces smeared with soot and determination etched into their features. "We did it," she said, her voice steady despite the weight of grief. "But this is just the beginning." Regrouping and healing. In the days that followed, the resistance worked tirelessly to regroup. They salvaged what they could from the wreckage of both their ships and the alien vessels, piecing together technology that had once seemed insurmountable. Dr. Amir Khan led a team of engineers and scientists in analyzing the remnants of alien technology, hoping to uncover secrets that could bolster humanity's defenses. "Commander," Amir called out one afternoon as Ilara reviewed casualty reports. "You need to see this." She followed him into a makeshift lab where holographic displays illuminated their faces, What have you found? Amir gestured toward a swirling mass of data on the screen. This technology, the energy source they used for their shields, it's unlike anything we've encountered. If we can replicate it, we could revolutionize our defenses. Ilara's eyes widened with excitement. Then let's get to work. We need every advantage we can get. Building new alliances. As humanity began to rebuild, Ilara recognized that they could not face future threats alone. The war had revealed not only their vulnerabilities but also their strengths, their ability to unite against a common enemy. She initiated contact with other surviving factions around the globe, reaching out to those who had fought bravely alongside them. Messages of solidarity spread like wildfire. Former enemies became allies in this new world order. One evening, Ilara convened a meeting with leaders from various resistance groups in an underground bunker, a place once reserved for fear, but now transformed into a hub of hope. "We stand at a crossroads," she began, addressing the gathered leaders. "The aliens may have retreated for now, but they will return. We must forge a united front, not just among ourselves, but with other species who share our desire for freedom." A murmur of agreement swept through the room as they discussed strategies for collaboration and mutual defense. A glimpse into the future. Weeks turned into months as humanity adapted to this new reality. With Amir leading research efforts, they developed advanced weaponry and defense systems based on salvaged alien technology. The scars of war remained visible. Cities still bore marks from battles fought, but life began to flourish anew. Ilara often found herself reflecting on what they had achieved together. The resistance had transformed into something greater, a coalition dedicated not only to survival, but also to rebuilding society. One day, while walking through a park that had been restored from its war-torn state, she encountered children playing joyfully, a sight that filled her heart with warmth. It was a reminder of what they were fighting for, a future free from fear. Facing new challenges. However, peace was fleeting. Whispers of alien scouts reemerging began to circulate among the coalition members. Ilara knew they needed to be prepared for whatever came next. "Amir," she said during one strategy session, "we need to set up surveillance systems around key locations. Our cities must be protected." "Agreed," he replied, tapping away at his tablet. "We can use drones equipped with our new tech for early detection." As plans took shape, Ilara felt an undercurrent of tension in the air, an unspoken fear that lingered despite their progress. They had faced death and destruction. Now they must confront uncertainty in its many forms. The call to action. One fateful night, alarms blared throughout their base, a chilling reminder that danger was never far away. Ilara rushed to the command center where Amir awaited her with grim news. "We've detected multiple unidentified ships entering Earth's atmosphere," he reported urgently. "Are they alien?" Ilara asked sharply. "Yes," Amir confirmed, his expression grave. "And they're heading straight for us." Ilara felt her heart race as adrenaline surged through her veins. "Gather our forces. We need to prepare for immediate defense." A new resolve. As soldiers scrambled into action and alarms echoed throughout their base, Ilara took a moment to gather her thoughts. This was it, the moment they had prepared for since their victory over the alien leader. "Listen up," she shouted over the noise as troops assembled before her. "We've faced insurmountable odds before and emerged stronger. Today will be no different. We fight not just for ourselves, but for everyone who believes in freedom." Cheers erupted among her troops as they readied themselves for battle once more, a testament to their resilience and unwavering spirit. The battle begins again. As ships soared into the sky and weapons were primed for combat, Ilara felt a sense of purpose wash over her. They would not back down. Humanity would stand united against any threat that dared challenge them again. With Amir by her side and allies ready to fight, she knew they were prepared for whatever lay ahead, even if it meant facing an enemy more powerful than before. The battle lines were drawn once more. Humanity's fight for survival continued, but now it was fueled by hope and determination like never before. The story continues.